Hey everybody, Meteorologist Danielle Grant here in my kitchen coming your way. I know we're all staying at home doing our part. So welcome. We're going to do a fun little science lesson as well as a really cool experiment. So stick around for that. But teachers, hopefully you can get your students in here to watch this. It'll be really fun and really fast. We are talking about the water cycle today. I thought this was probably a good day to do that because we do have rain and snow coming through parts of Colorado today. We have a storm moving over the state, so we're seeing snow fall up in the mountains, some of that actually making its way here to Denver later this afternoon and into this evening. So a good time. Water. My first question for you. Water makes up what percentage of the Earth's surface? There's a lot of water on there. I'm going to have that answer for you coming up in a few minutes. But first, let's talk about the water cycle. There are 4 stages to the water cycle, and the water cycle really is just this continuous movement of water above the Earth's surface, below the Earth's surface, and on the Earth's surface. So there's 4 stages, as I mentioned. First, we'll start with evaporation. That moves to condensation when you have clouds, and then precipitation, and then finally collection in our oceans, our rivers, and our reservoirs. So first, evaporation. Evaporation is when that water at the surface, so in our oceans, lakes, or rivers, turns into water vapor. So the water absorbs heat from the sun, and then that allows it to turn into water vapor. Water vapor is a gas. We can't see that, but slowly the water vapor rises up into the sky. That's when condensation comes in. So this is stage 2. Condensation is when all of that water vapor changes into tiny little ice particles, water droplets, because they're way up in the atmosphere. And of course, the higher you go in the atmosphere, the colder the temperature. So all those little particles, they come together and they create clouds as well as fog. So when you see that, that's actually condensation, when they all attach to each other. Finally, we get precipitation. That's stage 3. Of course, precipitation is when water falls from the sky. Again, rain, hail, sleet, snow. This happens when there's just too much accumulation of the water in the clouds, and those clouds just become so heavy that the air can't hold it up anymore. And then it falls to the ground. Sometimes it's rain, and again, sometimes it could be snow, but you know what temperature that has to be at? 32 degrees Fahrenheit. That's when we start to see it snow around here. Stage 4, that is collection, and that's when all the rain, the snow, it gets collected in different bodies of water. So we have lakes, we have rivers, we have oceans. And then sometimes, when the water falls, it comes down on the ground. When we have that, that's called groundwater. So maybe in your front yard or your backyard when it's raining, it soaks into the ground, and then eventually that cycle comes full circle and once again starts over with evaporation, condensation in the clouds, precipitation, the rain and snow, and then all of that water gets collected, and then it just does it all over again, one giant circle. So now let's create our own water cycle bag. How fun is this? Okay, so really easy, and I'm pretty sure you probably have all of these ingredients at your house. First, a little Ziploc baggie, a Sharpie, food coloring, if you got it. We're gonna need some tape, and then also water. I'll fill up that in a bit. But first things first, we are going to draw a cloud at the top of our little baggie. So right here, going to draw that little cloud, a little puffy cumulus cloud, and then we're going to draw a sun also. See, that's pretty easy. Then at the very bottom, we're going to draw a line that represents the water, kind of like an ocean or a lake or a reservoir or a stream. So there's my water. That looks pretty good. Okay, so now I'm going to take my bag, go over to my sink, and just fill it up, just that one little line, okay? Ooh, what do you guys think? There we go. That's perfect. Now, if you have that blue food coloring, probably want mom or dad to help you with this one, guys, so you don't get it everywhere. Whoops. Just one drop. That's all you'll need. Boop. And then now your water has turned blue. How cool is that? We are going to zip this up And then now, what are we gonna do? We're gonna seal up the baggie, and then we're gonna go tape it to a sunny window, and then we will wait. I got my tape. I'm gonna get 2 of these. All right, come with me to my window. Here we are. I'm gonna tape this up, our own little water cycle, so we can see evaporation, condensation, precipitation, and then collection down here. Now, we're gonna need a little bit of sunshine. So we're gonna have to let this just wait and let the water cycle take over. But I did this yesterday so we can kind of see what it looks like all done. This morning there was a little bit. So you can see in my baggie, if you zoom in really close, you can see all of those water droplets. That's the condensation that this water cycle has created. So we have condensation in and around the clouds, and then we're starting to see some of that precipitation slide down the side of the baggie. And then where does it end up? It ends up in my lake, in my river, my reservoir, my ocean. So how cool is that, guys? I mean, pretty cool. Remember, I had that one last question for you. How much water takes up the surface of the earth? All right, do you have your number? 71%, almost 2/3, more than 2/3 of the entire Earth's surface is water. So water is huge, and the water cycle, again, is that continuous movement from evaporation to condensation to precipitation to collection. We need water to survive. And I hope that you had fun. I hope that you do that experiment, tape it up to your window, and I promise some sunnier skies so you'll really be able to see the entire water cycle happen in that little Ziploc baggie. All right, guys, if you have any questions, make sure you jot those down. I'll be answering those, and we'll see you back here real soon. Bye.